And Pete.
Is there music?
Yeah, Pete and press the button.
Oh. Is there some music? Because I love our music.
I played it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Try it
okay.
again. Try another button.
Hold on, I know what to do. Hold on.
Okay.
Stay where you are, Pete. Stay where you are, Pete. Stay where you are, Pete.
We love our music. We like
The
to
top,
dance.
it's-
We're actually
Just
getting a
press it.
dance together like the new song that Beyonce has out. So everybody is working on that. Don't trip on this anymore. There it is.
And take two.
We always
Are
take
you
good
gonna
pictures.
look
That was a good picture.
That was a great.
All of them are good. I hear those comments all the time.
So welcome everybody. It's Good Day NWI. I'm Becky Matea.
And I'm Pete Panos.
And we're at the Pete Panos Theater in
Munster?
Highland, Munster.
Both.
Yeah, we're like on the corner, so in the heart of the region,
We are.
Northwest Indiana.
Yes.
So welcome. We're having a great day. Number one, it's Easter, so he's risen, and number two, Purdue won.
Yeah,
So
they did.
so I'm feeling better.
And wish Happy Easter to everybody who's celebrating today, because some people do not yet, but it's a huge holiday,
So there are many different celebrations, and we kind of talk about the ones that we know, and that's why it's special. Is we're in Northwest Indiana, and that's why people are watching, because they can relate to all the the fun things we do, like wear papuchkis and have pigs in the blanket or halupki. Do you guys have any traditions for this season?
Lamb,
Ooh.
Greeks or Orthodox do lamb for Easter, which is May 5th this year. It's always after Passover,
Okay.
so it's always later.
So the good news is we have Pastor Paul Vale here, and he's going to help us a little bit with all
We
the
need
things
it.
we need to know.
Yeah.
Food. So we talked a little bit about the food. We have not as much as Christmas, but we do have some traditions. We love our mushrooms. We bake a few. I think rushkis go year round, so we love those.
Not to mention all the Easter egg hunts, correct?
Oh.
Everywhere, right? That's
So
what all
we
these
had
little
deviled
kids
eggs.
do.
We had deviled eggs today, so we weren't hunting them. We were mixing them. So
Oh.
you take the yolk out and you have like 100 different recipes. So everyone was telling them what they thought. I'm like, bacon bits. I love bacon bits in there. And then somebody else like horseradish. Do you have a favorite in your deviled eggs? Anything that you love?
I never eat them.
Oh, okay. Well,
Never.
Grandma
I
Sue,
need to try some.
Grandma Sue will be sending
Never
you
done
some
it.
now, just so you know.
I'll come by and pick them up. Don't worry about
They
that.
put the paprika on. Somebody put in some cream cheese, a little bit of mayo, some
a lot of work.
mustard. It's kind of fun. It's kind of the adult Easter egg hunt, really.
Oh, really?
Or the lamb
Okay.
cakes. I saw a lot of voting on the lamb cakes. People make them on the mold, and then you kind of vote for which one that you like. You never saw those either?
No, see, the Greeks still a little different. They're into the red eggs, and you have a competition with everybody. You keep on breaking the red egg to see whose egg lasts. I'll break everybody's.
And what do you get?
Money, whatever,
Oh, okay.
whatever the host of Easter wants to give you. But that's what it is. It's a big thing.
People treat
with the
you
red
better.
egg.
People will treat you better if your red egg survives.
So,
that's
the secret is you buy fake egg that's not going to crack, and you dye it red to match the rest. Yes, I've done that before.
I don't know if that's fair. That's
It's
kind of
not.
like at the Slovak Club picnic, you get the hard boiled. I'm like, you can't have a hard boiled egg in the egg breaking contest. You're
Yeah.
tossing them. All right, so food. We have some treats over there. Where'd you get those? You didn't
Meijer.
get those?
No,
Meijer.
I went to Meijer.
Okay.
I'm there a lot,
It's
so
close by, so
it's
it's
a block
handy.
away. It's too
Yeah.
convenient to go there.
I actually made brownies this week. I don't know why. I was like, God, I just have hankering for brownies with the. I like walnuts. Do you like walnuts
Yep.
or no?
I love
Okay.
chocolate. Anything chocolate,
So I mixed
walnuts,
those up
love
and
it.
they came out pretty good.
Good.
Fashion. What do you got going on today?
Robert Graham.
Ooh, something different this week.
Yeah, that's what this says. It gives you the different insight. It's awesome.
So I do like that. I like the piping, and it looks a little Hawaii, and then you have the red. I guess that's for IU, but they're not in it. But your team is in the NIT Final Four.
Purdue.
Well, my team's Purdue in the NCAA.
It
You
is.
went to Indiana State.
I did.
They're in the NAIA. That final
I
is
did.
Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And I called down there to see if we could get a pass, and like, all the tickets are sold out. I'm like, we're press.
I went online today. You could buy a ticket for, I think it's $195. It wasn't that crazy.
I want the student price. I'm like,
Too
I'm
late.
teaching, but I guess it's not a student. But I feel like I'm a lifelong student because I'm always over at IU, and I'm like, I'm always learning something. So everything is this. What's the guy's name again?
No, Robert Graham.
Okay, Robert Graham.
Yeah.
Pants, shoes.
No, this is all Calvin Klein.
Oh, Calvin
always.
Klein. So I do have Calvin
Because
Klein.
it fits great. That's why I like
Yeah,
it.
so this is, I've had this for a couple of years. I'm wearing it for Easter today.
I like your shoes
Yeah.
a lot.
So these are old throwbacks.
They're really nice.
Selena, I think they were from Kmart
No.
or Burlington Coat Factory.
Really?
I don't wear them often, but I mean to sit and
Nice.
to do a show, yeah, they're lovely. Yes, and they're pretty comfortable. So food, fashion, weather, and traffic. What's going on with the weather and traffic?
The weather training right now and traffic. Nobody's out today because it's a holiday. All the stores are closed, so no matter where you go, it's easy.
I actually, coming back, like, 'cause I came from Chesterton to here, the traffic is coming because people must have went and visited relatives because a lot of Chicago folks go to New Buffalo area.
Also tonight, the
And they
traffic
come
was
back
heavy.
on Sundays, not as, not bad, but not as quiet as usual. So, the traffic, and we do mention ind55.org, that tells you
Traffic.
cameras, construction, and accidents as well, so you can see that for the week. And I mentioned like north-south streets, so we know the east-west ones, but north-south, Indianapolis Boulevard, Calumet, I-65, 49. You just gotta just keep watching, and even your phone has it, because 1 minute it's fine, and the next minute there's a problem.
Somebody crashes and you're done. I mean, causes all kinds of problems, or you hit a pothole.
I
I
pray.
did that yesterday.
I pray. Oh, the potholes too. You have
Yeah.
to watch for those, and then the animals, which we'll have a story on that a little later, and weather and traffic. So that's all those four that we start with, and then we go into local stories, and we do have the pets. I did post on Amanda. There's a lot of organizations that do have animals. Cat Cafe, Humane's Indiana. You can go online, you can talk to folks, a lot of people even have them, and adopt, right?
You should.
Cats, dogs, rabbits. I think there was a rabbit. Somebody also had, I don't know if it was a porcupine, hedgehog. It was a hedgehog.
Really?
And little mice too. They were like little, I think they call them rats, but they looked, they were
They
given.
adopted little rats?
Well, they're little mice, yeah. and birds. Somebody had those big cockatoos that they were trying to rehome.
The two little dogs I have, we adopted both of them.
From where did you get them?
It wasn't in Indiana, but I know it's somewhere in Kentucky.
Okay, and
And-
yours are Pomeranian?
Yeah, teacup
Yeah,
Pomeranians.
they're tiny.
Two of them. 3 pounds, full grown. They never, ever shut up. Ever.
So all of mine were rescues. Well, all the ones my adult life. I think we even helped when I was a kid. But my latest one was adopted from I Want to Go Home. It's a little Chihuahua.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that little guy. I was going to bring him. We call
Why
him
not?
a little squirt. Oliver. So he's with Sergeant, which is our dachshund.
So he's the boss. Sergeant's the boss.
He's
That's
so-
why he's got that name. Gotta be tough.
He's getting so old. He's just like, I don't
Whatever.
know what's going on with that little jumping. I'm going somewhere else. But the unconditional love is, like they're like, Mom, I can't believe that you can tolerate that. I'm like, well, unconditional love goes a long way. So
Well, you have to have two of them. They live longer. They need a
Yeah.
buddy to hang out with.
They're so cute. I love them. So yes, go out there, spread the love, get an animal, make your family complete.
Absolutely.
We're going to go into, and so at this point, I kind of look on David, since you're there, are there any listeners you can give a present to? I do share, but for some reason I think I waited too long, and I'm not sure if anybody's is on there, but they all promised they were going to watch tonight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like who's
Everyone
on
ate during the day. They're at home right now watching Facebook. We hope. I think.
Who's on there?
All right, so we have Carolyn, we have Elena, we have
Ooh.
Susie and Paul, which are here.
Yeah.
Dave Lutz is watching, Bonnie is watching.
Nice.
Good.
Solomon is watching.
Cool.
Tiffany is watching.
It seems like romper room. So
Hi,
I'm
Dave.
gonna give the present to Elaine. I'm gonna see her this week because the show is going on. As I mentioned, I am in the musical. It is called in Maryland, but the musical is what's the musical? Carole King.
Carol King
The music of Carole King, beautiful.
in Valparaiso.
And Elaine is in it, so I'll
At
see
the
her.
Moore Opera House.
I'll see it this week. I'll see her this week. So yeah, it's gonna be the beginning of April. No end of beginning of May. No end of April show. So we're putting in an extra week of work.
But 8 shows, that's a lot of shows.
And
Right.
they might add a matinee on Saturday because we cancel one weekend because we're having a little trouble getting the drifters. David, are you interested in being a drifter?
Yeah.
Okay, well then you're coming tomorrow. Pete's coming tomorrow. I think Alphaeus, I was telling him, another guy from Chicago, and then Jalen Halliburton, who also had a birthday. So I'm like, come on over, guys. See what you can do, right?
Why not?
All right. Trending stories. What's your first one right here?
Georgia co-ed saves kids from car. in pond.
Yeah, I just, this morning, these 5 girls were on a trip somewhere, and a lady started yelling that her kids were in the pond, and they saved them and did CPR on the car.
I saw that. I see those on CNN today. I saw
So,
it.
so Pete's like, that's not really a regional story, but didn't I tell you, I have this little pond by my house, and like once every 5 years, somebody goes into the pond.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's an accident on Route 20 every week, but once every 5 years, there's somebody in the.
But there's no lights on 20.
Well-
You can't see anything.
So
there's-
we're working on that. I'm going to the town council meeting and I'm telling them
That's
I can't
crazy.
see anything.
No.
He just kept driving, which is, it is true. So
Yeah.
somebody's like, why are there accidents? Low
No,
lights,
it's horrible.
low signage,
Yeah.
not enough, traffic lights, speed,
Speed bumps.
oh God, I can put a speed bump out there. But speed signs, what are those called? Speed limit signs. And then the thing that's worked the best in our town, we have these lights that go off if you're going too fast. We put one out on Route 20, and I'm like, that was great. I'm like, put it back out there
Yeah, it
because
slows
when
you
you
down.
see those lights flashing,
You're
it's
like,
like
oh.
automatic. Like you put the brakes on. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Take your
all right,
time.
all right.
Exactly.
We talked about this. There's a Kevin McCoon bowler. He is, I guess, making the news because he's at the USBC US Open.
Is he from Griffith? Is that what you mentioned
I
earlier?
think so. So, and we've talked about bowling before, like in our sports segment, because there's all these traditional sports, but then there's these other sports that, aren't talked about that much, but you can make a lot of.
Here, you make good money bowling.
Yes.
Bowling's huge.
My mom's like, why didn't you keep bowling? I'm like, I don't know. I like team sports. We had more fun. I was such a good bowler when I was little. Now I'm like, everything's like, I can't bend, it hurts. And I'm like, oh.
There's 2 guys that work with me.
Mm-hmm.
They can't come in Friday nights because they're in a bowling league, and they bowl 300. 300 is like the best you can get, and they win $500 every time.
It's
To bowl the perfect game.
Yeah, it's not easy to do.
No.
So it's 9 and then
10.
10, 11, 12. It's 12
Exactly.
strikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And these 2 guys, they're twin brothers, and they both bowl. They're fantastic.
So there is still bowling in Northwest Indiana.
And Olympia Lanes.
And then
Yeah, North Haven.
out in Porter County, there is, I just went in there, Inman's. And then there's a few other little ones, I think Hobart Lanes and maybe Michigan City, but it's kind of, it's mostly the kids' sports that the parents can go and cheer at, which is still kind of big, but.
Growing up in Whining, we should walk the townhouse lanes on
Love
Saturday
Townhouse.
and go bowling all the time. We did the same thing.
Wyden Community Center.
Yeah.
Those were like the toughest lanes I've ever bowled
Yeah.
in. They had like no movement. My Uncle Paul actually bowled the 300. I'm like, how is
At
that
the community
possible?
center?
At the community center.
Because they never put enough wax or whatever
That,
they
I
do
think
on
that's
it.
what
Yeah.
it was. It wouldn't move. It
Right.
just would go.
Yeah,
And
and boom,
so
boom, boom,
now
boom, boom.
they have a fitness center in there. So it's the YMCA.
Oh,
It's a
really?
fitness center. And they took the pool out as well. So
Really?
so, a lot of
I
changes.
didn't know that.
Did you know that? Did you know this one?
Without glasses, I don't know.
Beyonce mentions Gary in one of her 27 tracks.
Really?
I don't know. Does anybody else know about this?
Maybe because she's friends with the Jacksons. Who knows? They're supposed to be coming back to perform in Gary.
That is true.
They
That
are.
is true.
Yeah.
So we're not really sure if it's Gary, Indiana, but hey, she says Gary. We're like, yes, Gary, Indiana, and there's a lot of good things happening there. I think you had mentioned Hard Rock is giving some money to get
Hard
this.
Rock just gave the city of Gary $3 million to tear down these buildings that have been abandoned there for years. For years. I think that's fantastic.
So we're hoping the streets get fixed and maybe
Yeah.
some flowers out. I think that's great.
Bring it back.
I mean, they are the largest grossing casino in the Midwest, and it's very nice that they are giving back.
It's
So,
a nice place. It's very
and
nice, very
actually,
safe.
We go there afterwards for a little after show antics, so I think we're going to do that today just because, Purdue won. I need some tea. American Airlines to allow pet carry-ons.
Really?
Isn't that nice?
It's about time.
So I guess, because I don't think I could ever do that. You used to have to put the pet and it would go under, probably not where the luggage is, in some other place, but I think my dogs would probably, faint.
Didn't in the past you have to have some kind of special licensing for your pet, emotional, whatever it's
Comfort,
called,
emotional,
so they can
yeah.
come with you? But not anymore, right?
I was at the Valpo softball game yesterday, and somebody had a comfort animal, or some, I don't know if it was comfort. It was a big German Shepherd, and I'm like, I need one of those. I was somewhere, and somebody was saying some very inappropriate things to me while I was watching the Purdue game, and I'm like, that ain't right. I'm gonna start
Really?
getting I'm gonna bring my Chihuahua with me.
He's bigger than that.
That Chihuahua,
You
they're
don't
like
laugh at the
gorillas. My dachshund is even worse though. I'm like, oh, he's the piranha. And then read this one because I wanted to talk about what happened with
Horse
that.
gets prosthetic leg.
I've always wondered this.
Really?
So these animals, when they break their leg, they're like, oh, that's it for them. We can't do things. Why can't they fix the animal? Like that little deer that got hit and broke his leg and Crown
Yeah,
Plains.
well, with these horses, when they run the Kentucky Derby, any race, they break their leg, they put them out. They're done.
So those are $1 million horses.
Yeah.
Okay, let's tranquilize them, put a cast on, have somebody watching them. I mean, this horse is getting a prosthetic leg.
It's about time.
Maybe this is gonna open that up for me because I'm just thinking,
Wow.
I would never, I don't know, I suppose it's hard, but if it was my pet like that white deer, there were so many people that loved that animal and it was so docile that they probably could have, but they said it was in a lot of pain. And yeah, he was hit by a car. So that's another thing on the roads, besides weather and screaming kids in your backseat, the animals are crossing the roads.
Yeah, and there's no light, so that's why they got hit.
Well, I suppose Crown Point's probably, it's country still out there.
It is. That whole
All right.
area over there.
Anything on your mind about sports before we have Paul come on?
Just Purdue. I am so glad they won. They won this afternoon.
Isn't that nice? That's why you got this on.
Let me see, right.
The gold and the black.
I bet on them. So
That's probably
that's
why.
the main reason.
I'm doing it because I love them.
Plus, one of my boys goes to Purdue.
That's nice.
So that's a big ordeal. It
That's
is.
nice.
So if I can get tickets to go watch one of these games, because I know they're going to make it, I want to do it.
So you do know they're in Arizona. It's going to Arizona, and I thought about it.
They're not playing in Michigan?
No, well they did. Now
Right.
they moved the Final Four to Arizona. So you said it, and we're going to work on
I
it.
would go there. I
Okay.
would go there.
So any Good
Really?
Day NWI fans, you heard it. We're going. But honestly, I do like sitting in my chair and watching on TV because you can see all the replays. Like when you're at the games, like people are always like interfering, but
It'd be kind of cool to
but
go
the
there. You would have to
vibe
admit.
is-
Right.
yeah.
Right. The energy would be
yes.
unbelievable.
And I give a shout out to my dad. He did play he was actually three-sporter, probably athlete of the year in '52. He's in heaven, and I
Wow.
wear his Purdue for Phil as well. And I just keep doing this to help them win.
It's gonna make them win. I'm telling you.
So Dave Lutz did send us a big sheet. We're gonna post that. I'm gonna post that tonight. And you can see all the rundowns. There's other winners. There's a lot of good Indiana teams in other sports, and there was a big
There
game
is.
this week, and then there's upcoming games. So check our feed and you'll see that. And we'll be back next week with a full report. But right now we're gonna welcome Paul Vale. His wife Susie's here with him, but she's here for support. He's gonna come in. He's from New Life Christian.
Where you want me?
We're moving the glasses.
I know those glasses were for me, or because I could use them.
I didn't know. Here.
Well, I'll tell you what.
If I'm reading anything.
We had a mix up like one of the first shows, and Pete was looking for his glasses, and I'm like, somebody just let him use my glasses. And so at the end of the show, Pete's like, those are my glasses.
Those are yours.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't like sharing glasses, so you can't use them. I'm like, okay, I understand. It's not a problem. I didn't know what happened to them. I put them down. It must have grown legs. I don't know.
So anyway, I don't think you're reading anything, so you're safe.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay,
If I don't
I'm
have to
good
read
at
them.
close, I just can't read far. So usually with our guests, we go, who are you, what have you done, and what are you gonna do? So in the next 20 minutes, you're gonna get a really good sense about Paul and what he does for this church and his life up in Whiting.
20 minutes. I've got 20 minutes. I hope you're going to talk a little too.
Oh, yes,
We're ready.
well, we
Okay.
always ask questions.
Good deal. Well, I'm Paul Vale. I was born and raised in Robertsdale, Whiting. I went to Clark, graduated in '85.
I'm gonna turn you down a
Yeah.
second.
I graduated from Clark in '82.
I knew you were on when I was there. Yeah.
Wow.
So you was a freshman when I was a senior.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by
Oh, wow.
pioneers.
You better believe it.
Yeah. That's.
We're at Robertson. What street were you on?
Warwick.
Yeah, I was on Myrtle.
Grew up on Warwick. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you're by Fort St. Park.
Yeah. I remember you in shows at Clark.
Yes, I did a lot of them there.
Yeah.
And
I
at St.
was
John Church.
I was in one with you when I think I was in middle school. You had no idea who I was. When you were in high school, I was in one of them with. I don't remember which one, Pippin, or there was another one. A couple of you guys you did.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Wow.
So pretty crazy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Small
Good.
world.
Yeah, it is. You're
But
right.
yeah, I grew up in the area. Went away to college at Lincoln Christian University, Lincoln Christian College when I went, and got my degree there. And came back home and went to the church that I grew up in. My father-in-law was minister there for 25 years, and then I ended up being minister there. Now this is 24 years for us. being
Wow.
There. Yeah.
So
Wow.
what's the address?
1829 Central Avenue, Whiting, Indiana.
And it's not the same church.
Not the same church.
Because about
3 years ago.
3 years ago,
Yeah.
gosh, you have a brand new, big,
Yes.
beautiful building. And and I have to bring this up right now, because one of the biggest reasons you were like, oh yeah, I'll do Easter Sunday, besides the message that he has risen,
Yeah.
what do you got starting tomorrow?
Pickleball.
So that's like the
At the
newest
church?
craze.
At the church.
They have
Yes.
a huge
Really?
gymnasium.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a multi-purpose room that we do our worship in, and then we also do, now we're gonna do pickleball, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, all day, basically, every day, 8 to 8. And it's $10, anybody, $10 per person per hour, and you can come and hang out and have some fun, and we'll eventually probably do some tournaments and things like that, but, there's no pickleball in the area other than a couple outdoor courts that they've got, but no indoor. And so we thought, this
It's a
might
great idea.
be
So
to
do
get people in.
People
Yeah.
call you, or do they just come in?
Just come in, and
Okay.
you can play there, or you can reserve a time, but come in and do it. We're trying to figure out how, calling wise and stuff, how to work that
Yeah.
out. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that yet.
Mm.
And eventually, maybe we'll go to memberships, things like that, but.
So
That's awesome.
during the pandemic, I'm scrolling, and they pop up. That's one of my favorite things, is they do a live church service at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings.
Still?
Yeah.
And I'll like watch it, and then I share it, and I make comments, and the message, I think one of the things I love is like, it's no nonsense. It's how you're supposed to live. And I think that's rings true in everything you do. So it's so perfect, that the message and then like the other things you do, because besides in that room, you also have a lot of other things that you do. Like I just think keeping the kids. What's that on Friday nights?
Friday nights, we have
Yes.
it's called Extreme.
Yeah.
We've been doing it now for 20 years, 22 years now. And kids in 6th to 12th grade can come on a Friday night and just hang out and play basketball. Go upstairs, we've got a teen room, we've got food they can eat and just hang
Isn't that
out.
a great idea?
And we've been doing that. We've had hundreds of kids on a Friday night come in
Wow.
and just hang out and have a good time and just have a safe place to go.
Keeps them up the street.
Keeps
Not
them up the
that
street.
Whiting is a dangerous or bad. It's not.
No,
But,
I mean,
no,
but
no.
I think
Right.
supervised and
So,
busy is good.
so from other communities too, not just Whiting area?
Yeah,
Not just
we've
Robert
had
Hill,
some
Hammond, and
outside of
everywhere?
Chicago, south side of Chicago, things like that, you know.
Oh,
but
good,
It's mainly our area, but there have been outside kids come, yeah, so it's.
good.
Yeah, it's great.
So tell us, I know it's Easter and there's a usual message, but what's one of your favorite messages? Because I do have a theme that goes through, and I kind of alluded to it, but like, what's your unique message that you kind of touch on it weekly, if you had something in your mind about?
Wow, that's a good question.
Yeah.
It's just my biggest thing right now is living for Christ. It's the world is getting in the way, and there's so many distractions and so many things out in the world right now that takes up our time, and people have kind of pushed aside the whole relationship with Jesus thing, and because they're too busy.
Mm.
And so my main message now is, don't let the noise of the world get in the way of your relationship with Him, and that's huge, and it's life changing, and it's eternity changing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
things that I mean, I think probably every month I kind of get on a little saying, but one of the things I mentioned is good does not mean you're holy. You could be a really good person,
Sure.
but it doesn't mean that you're following the
Right.
Lord. And I watched the 10 Commandments, like that is my ultimate, and I'm like, those are commandments, you know?
Not suggestions,
Yeah.
And I'm like, they are important. And I always tell my kids, and it's number 4. I'm like, honor your mother and father. That is a commandment. It's not like, hey, you know,
They
say
forgot
sorry
that
to
one.
your
Yeah,
children.
right.
It's the commandment one. So those are important.
Yeah.
So that's who you are. What have you done, and what are you going to be doing? So let's tackle what you've done. What else have you done in your life, and maybe even family and friends, because you've got some interesting stories.
Okay. I've done a lot of things in life. I played a lot of sports, and at college I played soccer and baseball and tennis in college. And
Where'd you go to college?
Lincoln Christian
Okay.
University.
Where is that?
It's Lincoln, Illinois. It's just south of Bloomington.
Got it.
How did you know? Because you talk about your son and
Yeah.
what his path was. How did you know? Like, you knew before college? Because a lot of people don't decide. We've got a mutual friend. I think Tim didn't decide till later on.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
went back.
Yeah,
But how do you decide?
that's a good question because I decided when I was 8.
You
Oh, wow.
did.
I was 8 years old. We were at Lincoln Christian College at the time, There was this talent rally that was down there. They always had every year, and people from all around the Midwest came and did their talents, solos, duet, trios, that kind of stuff. And so I would go down with my church. My parents were sponsors for the youth at the time at the church. And when I was there, I told them, I said, Mom and Dad, I want to be a preacher. And they were like, what, you're 8 years old. How do you know you want to be? I
That's so
said, I don't
cool.
know. But that was the way I did with my whole life. I mean, singing and preaching is my whole thing.
And did you meet Susie through?
Met Susie through the church. Her dad was minister there. So they came to the church. I was 4 years old when they came, and she was 8. And I immediately fell in love with her.
And I think this,
At 4 years old, got
this
it.
is another story that
Yeah.
is so important on your preaching is like
Wow.
your relationship and how important that is and how you follow through on your covenant because it's with God,
Yeah.
not just her. I just love that. That's like my favorite thing. So Susie, you do have to come over and say hi.
She's over here. She's supporting me right now. But
She sings, doesn't she sing?
oh yeah,
in the
she
service?
sings.
And-
We sing. We've been singing together since we were kids.
Aw.
Excuse me, but I'm watching Good Day Northwest Indiana.
There you go. So yeah, she and I have been doing things together for a long time. And,
So how long have you been the pastor and
24 years, right?
Yeah, her dad started in 1971.
and you've been there 24 years
I've been there
as the
24 years from 2000 to this year. Yeah.
as the
Wow.
pastor?
So yeah.
You know, we affectionately called you the surfer priest.
Priest.
Well, because it was my kids,
Yeah.
and you were kind of like
I had the blonde hair
casual.
and casual.
Yeah,
Oh, you
and
did?
they were
I did,
Catholic, and so that's what they would call me, but like, hey, whatever
Yeah.
works, you know.
Yeah. No.
So,
You also did, what was it called? Little dribbles?
Little Sports.
Brock
Was Brock in there?
Yes, he was. Our
So-
son was in that
That was
when he was little.
when we were in Whiting for about 3 or 4 years. It was probably before 2000. I was like, let's just get all the kids together and do something. And I actually talked to them again about starting that. But I
Okay.
tell you, our why is kind of like a daycare. So maybe that's something we'll talk about in the
Okay.
future. Because I don't know where all those kids are going to
Yeah.
get that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And what's nice is, like I said, some of the same messaging in sports is derived. I just did this like 10 qualities of a great player is derived from my upbringing in religion, which
Sure.
was Christianity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know there's a lot out there. I'm just like, just be good people and follow, you know,
Yeah.
the decent
It
things
makes
to
it so
do,
much easier.
you know. and,
There's no
you
doubt
know,
about it.
Yeah.
So the world
Yeah.
is mostly good when we talk about there's a few little evils that just keep on, that you gotta keep on, you know,
They're really coming after the
smashing.
kids, it seems like, these
Uh,
days. And so you gotta try to hold on as tight as you can.
And you know, I think you mentioned this too, is there's with the good also comes, you know, lack of a better term, crummy things. So we have this
Yeah.
technology,
Yeah.
but then the bad messages spread just as much as the good messages do. And if there's
For
not
sure.
somebody going, hey, you know, come, you've got to do those things. Come every week, say the messaging, do the things, because you can get lost on
Okay.
there and get swept up.
Totally.
Here, let me tell you, I grew up in, you know where I grew up?
Yeah.
We went to St. Demetrius Greek Orthodox Church in Hammond.
Yeah.
Still go there, right? If it wasn't church related, I couldn't go. I couldn't go to any high school things at all.
Right.
I couldn't go to prom, I couldn't go to homecoming,
Yeah.
none of that stuff.
Yeah,
If it was
were
with the
tough.
church, we played basketball there, we hung out there, we were not allowed to do it.
I did a lot of things at St. Paul's too.
And at the time, I'm like, man,
I can't
isn't
believe
that
I'm-
unfair? Are you kidding me? But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm glad. It worked out perfect.
Yeah, it
Perfect.
it was
You know, no drama, no nothing.
No.
Now, I have 6 boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try telling Matt, are you kidding me? They roll their eyes and they go, you're stupid.
Yeah.
I
So,
think the world
so
is
old.
just so
yeah,
busy.
exactly.
And there's so much to do now, and there's so many choices that you do
Too
kind
many.
of get lost
It's too
in
many,
the shuffle
yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, anything else going on around the church or so say you're on Central? No, it's Cleveland.
Yeah, Central.
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 Those two get mixed up.
Yeah.
And a phone number, or how can they reach you?
They can call me, 219-616-7961. But that's the best way to get a hold of.
Social
what we're
media,
doing.
right?
Social
You guys
media,
have a
yeah,
Facebook
we're on
page.
Facebook.
You
and-
guys are on
and we got a
that.
website,
That's good.
newlifewhitings.com.
And you guys have been there, and I know every time I go in, there's things that, you know, kind of go back and forth, but you guys have been solid. And then coming up now, what's coming up for you guys besides the pickleball? Tell
Yeah.
some other things that are going on at the church.
Well, we've got a soup fellowship every Tuesday
That's
for
lovely.
anybody that in the community that needs soup and needs some fellowship and talking and somebody just to talk with and hang out with.
So
and
who
be
makes
there
the
for.
soup and what's the favorite soup?
We have several people there that
It's
make soup.
homemade,
It's
everyone
homemade, but
knows.
Alta Goodwine, who that was her baby. She'd been dreaming of this forever, and when we opened the new church, we're like, "You're gonna do it now." And so she said, "I want to do this." She's, I was her age, but
I remember that last name.
I
Good
do
wine.
too.
Yeah.
Wendy Goodwine
Yes.
was probably with you and
Yeah.
Leslie.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
I
this
remember
is the
the name.
mom,
This is the mom.
and I think maybe this should be our impact winner.
Oh, hey, yeah,
So
we'll
what's
take it.
what's the soup? What's the soup you love?
Hers best is hamburger soup. It's really good,
Hamburger.
but there are so many, and
Name some of them. Chicken noodle.
Italian wedding.
Yeah,
Italian
cheese-
wedding.
cheeseburger
Sometimes
paradise.
they have tomato and grilled cheese sandwiches.
those are
yeah,
good.
they just get all different.
There's a
kinds.
soup that tastes like that?
We're gonna have to go.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go on a Tuesday before you go over to work.
Wow.
Yeah.
My favorite, and I would say, I think they would, my mom probably would love to come over. She makes that we call it kisla porioka. It's a Christmas soup.
Okay.
It's like a gravy with mushrooms that she gets from Europe. The relatives send the mushrooms. I'm like, why are we making this more than once a year? And then you make mashed potatoes and you put them. It's just like my mouth is just watering thinking about that. But oh, that's like my favorite soup.
That's awesome.
Do you have any charities that are involved that help?
That help us?
Or
Yes.
do you help
Like,
charities?
like for needy families that need to be fed during the holidays and other times that need help?
There's a group that comes. I can't even think of where they're coming from on Tuesdays. I can't think
Because
of
we
where they
have
come
on
from.
Cash Charities, which
But
raises
I catch
money.
church. Yeah, I know you're talking Mr.
And,
Bonvano.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
Originally,
I'm involved with them, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
yeah.
here last week, actually.
Yeah, he's
Fred
they're
was here.
great.
Yeah,
And
they
then
are.
the week
They really
before,
are.
I had Lauren on, she's doing Angels Honor Card, she's
Oh, yeah.
giving donations, and then she, it's mostly these dresses, she had a friend that was poisoned with fentanyl, so her mission is to,
Unbelievable. I just can't believe it.
is to buy the cup covers, to remind them to cover your cup, cover yourself, be very diligent, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of, especially for women and children, that goes on.
Because what Cash does, I think, they, at Thanksgiving and Christmas, now they did Easter this year too, I had no idea.
Yeah.
They feed 100 families.
That's amazing.
It is.
That is amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I remember we started this 7 years ago,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, how's this gonna work?
Yeah. Right.
And now it's year
Yeah.
number 7.
That's
And I was reading some information on them the other day. They give out around $150,000 a year.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Wow.
That is a lot.
But they raise
And-
good money,
They,
yeah.
they're great at fundraising.
And
They
they've got
never
other
stop.
people in the
Yeah.
community that are helping, like Karen over at Center Lounge is very helpful, she's another really
Oh,
good
yeah.
person, and Buzzy and that whole
Yeah.
family is
Yeah.
a really helpful,
Yeah.
community. And Mrs. Wilkening, I see her all the time,
Oh,
she's running, what is she running,
Jeannie, the coats
the
and
coats.
food at the Baptist church.
okay, yeah,
yeah.
so, I mean, for being such a small city, Whiting really does a lot, and I give a
Quite a
shout out
reach,
to
yeah.
Mayor Spebar, he's got a fundraiser, I think, at the end of, what's next, April. My
Okay.
months are all going into one another.
Yeah.
Besides Soup Kitchen, what else do you guys have going?
Is there a Sunday school there too?
We have an adult Bible Sunday class for the adults after church is over. They meet, and then we also during church we've got kids church. It's called Kids Blast and Kids Impact for kindergarten through 5th grade. They've got their own church time during our church time. Extreme on Friday nights, and the newest one we're trying to get going is it's an addictions ministry for every kind of addiction you can imagine, and hopefully maybe even through some of the pickleball proceeds
That
and things
would
like
be
that we
great.
could really start that going. It's been a dream of ours since we've gotten a new building, and we just haven't been able to get it going financially and everything. But
Well, you're
that's
busy. I posted his Holy Week
Oh,
assignments.
Who helps you? You have help?
Yeah,
she's everything, and I just do the good. I just do this stuff, you know. I'm
Gotcha.
in front of the camera. She
Gotcha,
does all the
gotcha.
back stuff, everything.
you have a
I mean,
board and some other
music
people
and
that are like
Yeah.
volunteering.
church leaders, and a lot of volunteers, and Susie organizes everything together and gets everybody going.
And I
Yeah.
do want to mention in the sports segment here, well, it was earlier, but they are looking for, again, the volunteer coaches for all these things that go on for the kids, like Little League, I saw them post,
Yeah, I
but
saw that too.
it happens all the time with the basketball, but somebody's like, oh, you guys are really into sports. I just think that they need to be supervised and busy, and if they're tired, that's a bonus, because then they're
They're not
gonna
gonna go out
cause
and do
some
anything,
trouble,
right?
They don't have to
That's
deal with
true,
all this,
yeah.
Oh, that's a
I
good
need
one.
food
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So what's coming up? Like, what do you see for your future, and what's happening?
He'll be there another 24 years. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He'll be 90 years old.
24, yeah, just saying. Maybe not 24, but yeah, no.
So I used to have up a calendar. It was beautiful, but the year changed. So you have this. It's like the calendar of the holy days. So coming up, this is Easter. What's the next things? Tell us a little bit more about like Christianity. What comes up in these next months, going into summer and then beyond into fall? Like, what things should we be thinking about now?
Well, a lot of what we do is, we do some of the holiday stuff with Father's Day, Mother's Day, and we focus on, moms and the faith part of it, and dads and being there for your
Important.
kids, because that's, such a big thing in our community. Dads are so absent, and
Someone mentioned this.
yeah,
The greatest thing that you can do for your child is to be good parents, and that you've committed to each other, and to be there, and to love the parent, and follow. People are just like, oh, I'm just doing this, that, and the other, but to love the mother or the father is the best thing you could do for those children having a good marriage. So anyway,
very
keep
true.
going.
No, it's
Throw
very
that in there,
true.
because I see this on social media every day.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, I need to get out of this relationship, and I'm like, well, let's just try to be the best person you can be, and see how that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's hard.
No, that's true. It's very true.
So after Mother and Father's Day,
Focus.
I know we have Whiting has a big function at Pierogi Fest, but do you do anything like a
Kingdom Kids, yeah, we're gonna do this. We used to have Vacation Bible School.
love that.
And that was Monday through Friday. We're kind of changing it up this year, and because kids, something 5 days for kids, they don't come to everything. It's all the time. It's always so. We're gonna do a condensed, kind of a high impact Friday night, stay the night, Saturday, and it's gonna be sessions and a lot of music and getting the kids energized.
Sleepovers are
They bring
are
sleeping
fun.
bags and hang out?
Those are
Yes.
fun.
And so it's for the whole community, kindergarten through 5th grade. And that's gonna be at the end of June. We'll put some more information out soon, but
Okay.
we just kinda introduced that today to the church, and it's gonna be exciting. We're excited about it. High energy. It's gonna be a high energy
So,
type of thing.
how many people go to your church? Just curious.
We have 200 people that attend our church,
Mhm.
but not all at once.
That's fair. I mean, that's
Sometimes they're
typically how
there.
it
Today
is.
we're well over 200 today
Okay.
with Easter, but I call it shift work church. We'll have some on one week, next thing they want, the other group will come.
Yeah.
So that's another
Or
thing.
just the people just come on holidays, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
In today's world has changed because, everybody seems to be working for the middle class, and then jobs,
Yeah.
and then other things that we didn't have to think about. As I had comments like, hey, in the 60s, well, it's not the 60s anymore, insurance and that. But our world, I mean, you get up in the morning, you have to see what's going on in the world,
Yeah,
All the
which,
time. Yeah.
is probably something that, I don't know, there were wars then too, but not, I mean, every morning I wake up and I look to see, what color are we? We have different alerts.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
yeah.
It is great.
Yeah.
So we're in July, that's happening June, July.
Yeah.
Then what's going on August and then the fall?
August we kick in. We've got our Extreme. We'll kick back on again. We take
Back
off
to
for the
school,
summer.
yeah.
Back to school. We get that going again, and just getting everything happening. We're trying to keep people in church, not vacation during the summer. If you take a vacation, great, but if not, we still have church.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can still come. It's
Yeah.
nice outside, but
Right.
everybody gets distracted and they have other things going on. And that's kind of the world we live in. And like you're talking about with kids and sports, Sundays were never a thing for sports, but now it's such a major travel ball and all that
We
stuff.
struggled with
And
that.
I'm a huge sports guy, and I love sports. But Brock, they would ask him to join travel ball. I said, "You're not. If you have to play on Sunday morning, you're not doing it."
Yeah, and we
Good for you.
tried, and we really
That didn't work for
tried.
me.
Yeah.
We really
Not
tried
at all.
to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
As girls, I don't think they listen. If it was a guy talking, they would listen, but I mean, as far as like the talent, I was just like, hey, and we really tried to not do that and to keep a balance and not play on the holidays. But a lot of people, what they do is they'll go on that trip and then they turn that into a vacation.
Sure.
But if you're
Yeah.
working and you have more than one kid, it's kind of tough, and
Yeah.
sometimes I think that kind of breaks up the
How old is
families.
Brock?
Brock is 34.
I can't believe
Wow,
that
he's
either.
very-
34.
He's married and he's got 2 kids. One that he married into, Carson. He's 14, gonna be 15, and then the little one that he had 4 years ago. He's about to be 5, and so yeah,
And they live somewhere where you guys drive. Where is that?
they live in Joplin area, Missouri.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Joplin, okay, well, so what's that at 9?
Yeah.
I used to go to see Leah and it was about 7.5
Yeah.
to,
It's too much driving for me.
It's
You just
I
gotta
don't do it. I
like
don't mind.
switcheroo, through, like,
Yeah.
you do all 9, you don't do any? I always give a little break, like, I'm like, hey.
34. I have a 30-year-old. I'm like, when did that happen?
I know.
Right?
Oh, no kidding. I always thought I felt like I was 34 until he turned 34, and I'm like, okay,
You don't look any.
I'm not.
You look so young. You look great.
Well, 50 is the new 30.
That's
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and
Well,
Good
and
food.
60
pushing
Add a little bit of
60.
Yeah, I just turned 60
I keep
last
saying
week.
50.
Man,
Yeah.
oh
There
man.
you go. Yeah.
Pete's
Yeah.
like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, don't worry about it. So then the fall comes, anything special in the fall that the church does? Do you guys have I know we used to have like little festivals or something, even at like rummage sales or something, or like a fall
Yeah.
fest or.
This year
Just
we're
anything
we're,
like
we're
that?
we're tossing around the idea of like a fall festival day in the church on a Saturday and getting food in there and just people like
Tchotchkes?
building
Everybody loves
things
those,
and
those.
yeah,
Like they sell their little treats.
yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
idea. Though that's in the conversation right now.
And then eat,
And
then
then, yeah,
Thanksgiving and
Thanksgiving,
Christmas.
Christmas, and all the stuff we do with that.
Is there a basketball league or any kind of sporting thing going on? You could play against other churches.
There's a volleyball league for
Fun.
teens that we're in. We're
I
in
saw
every year.
that, yeah.
So it's a region wide.
Good.
We have it at our church and then at a couple other churches every Saturday.
How far do you travel
For
for
the
that?
Usually Munster, and that's probably
Not
far.
too far?
That's not too
Not
bad.
too far,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then they come to us.
Okay.
So yeah.
I hope you guys are staying so fit.
So
So we've got one more minute.
Okay.
What other message that we haven't touched on would you like to either one say to our Good Day NWI? Remember, that's us here and coming out of Northwest Indiana.
That's a good question.
He's got so much to say. I don't think I got the right thing.
Yeah, throwing for a loop. Other than just the passion that we have at New Life and the desire for people to come and experience a family that it's hard to find at a church like ours. They love you no matter what. They're always there for you, and they will stand up for you and with you no matter what's going on in life. And that's what we love about our church. It's just real people loving you and loving God.
So Sunday mornings, Whiting, 10
7
a.m.
o'clock. Yeah.
And you can also watch them on Facebook. Do you use any of the other platforms?
That's awesome.
Because that's my camera. We have, I don't know, David's got another one. We have Pete's, we have one going on YouTube, and then we have this thing called Restream.
Okay.
David Lane, I want you to come on today. He's behind me, but he's
And the
helping
restream
just got
hits
back.
different
Tell us
market
all the
areas.
restreams.
Yeah.
Oh,
Instagram, TikTok,
So,
Facebook,
yeah.
and YouTube.
Okay.
It's like all
It
these
hits them all.
other.
You get more data, more
Although
people
I
see
think
it.
he's
Oh, that's
saying
cool.
he forgot. It's all right. So thank you once again, Paul Vale, his lovely wife Sue, and thanks for coming on at
you.
Easter
Thanks
and
for having me.
for everything you do for
It was great.
everybody.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
David, you gonna hop on? Or are you trying to get Restream going?
no, Restream is going. I was
So
just gonna pull up.
What was the thing? Oh yes. So we keep saying David Lane, and people are like, who is this David Lane?
Nice
Who's
glasses.
this David Lane? Who is this David Lane? He's got a new hairdo. He's got these. Wow, look at these green and red glasses.
You have to tell me where you bought those. I like them. I gotta get
Wow,
that.
Isn't that lovely?
I bought it from Zenny.
So this is
And,
fashion.
What is that? What is that?
There's something online.
Yep.
Some store online, probably.
Does it take a picture with your face? You can know what size fits you good?
Yep.
Because they look fantastic.
Wow.
They're like perfect, actually.
And so, I've known David for years. We worked together at Ford, and every time, like, okay, I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like at the 15-minute mark, we're calling David Lane. He's gonna help us. So that's why he's our tech guy. He's also a very supportive man spiritually. I love that, as well as Val. She's our word of the day. And I just wanted you to, he's also I always love that word, Sybaretic traveler. He just came back from, where'd you go now?
I went to Thailand.
Thailand.
So were you the tallest guy there or what? I'm just curious.
I love that. He was the funnest guy there.
No, I was the sickest guy there.
Oh, that's right.
Because I
you-
drank some.
I
drank.
something odd.
What did you drink?
So
Something
I
odd.
drank scorpion venom.
What is what?
I'm not even sure I would do that, but it's okay.
It tasted amazing.
Is it like their specialty drink?
Amazing. So it's part of this pagan ritual
Mm.
that I went to do to honor my uncle who passed away. He was a
Oh.
pagan, wanted to go to Thailand.
Sprinkled his ashes.
So
Got it.
I went to Thailand when he couldn't.
Maybe that was payback for.
And you drink what? What did you drink? What's it called?
Scorpion venom. It was part of this.
Where'd you get that? Where
From the scorpions.
Yeah.
would you hold on to it? I mean, how's that
Oh,
work?
no, they do something with it.
They harvest the venom from the scorpions
Oh,
to
my
put in.
goodness.
Wow. What does it taste like?
It tastes like sparkle.
Really?
Spark?
It
What's
tastes
sparkle?
like sparkle. Like when you drink it, it's so delicious.
Like carbonated water?
No.
Or carbonated champagne?
No. So remember the old movie with the vampires?
I try not to think about those, but they give me bad dreams, but okay.
It tasted like that. Like your whole body just sparkles, like you're a
like-
vampire.
That's what I drink.
What color is it?
So the drink itself is black,
Okay.
but that's because there's other stuff in it as well. But the whole experience, it tastes amazing. It's so sweet. It's so good.
I'm always skeptical. I go to these countries.
Is it?
and
Does
I'm
it
like,
taste like licorice at
widgety
all?
grub?
No.
I'm not doing the widgety grub. These people are
Okay.
like, but that's part of their culture. They're eating those widgety grubs out in the outback, and I'm like, not for me. No, thank you.
But you drink this stuff and you feel euphoric initially,
And then you're sick the rest of the week.
and then, well, yes, because you can't take the antivenom before you drink it, and then
That right
it
there is
won't-
telling me no. Anti-venom. I'm thinking of like George in the Jungle, they were doing all that stuff. He was lucky to be alive after he did so. Oh my goodness.
But you take it after, and unfortunately, I was not used to it, so I ended up getting sick. And
In what way? Flu symptoms? Were you throwing? What happened? What did you feel?
So anyway, we're glad you're back,
Yeah, you
and
know.
we're glad you're
You
better.
know,
So we're
you know,
gonna move
you know.
on to.
But real quick,
Go ahead.
So we are on LinkedIn.
Oh yes.
We are on Twitch. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter. We are on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We're not actually live on YouTube yet because we don't have enough subscribers, but
We're getting
So
there.
with that being said, please share this, get the subscribers, and then tell us about the stars. I'm seeing we can get stars now on
So-
Facebook. Tell us about that.
we are eligible for stars as of this moment. There's still an issue as far as Facebook, as far as transferring the funds to us, but stars are a way for our viewers to support what we do here. And you give us stars on when you watch a stream
Awesome.
or when you view one of our posts,
Like Google.
like Google.
Exactly.
But then Facebook takes those stars and converts them into money that they then pay us. So it's a way of supporting your,
So we could get better technology. We could go on like our public media.
all of the content that you love, you can support using stars on the Facebook platform. It doesn't cost you anything, but it's your way of showing support for the content
Wow,
that
that's
you
amazing.
How about Truth Social? They just went public.
True Social did just go
They
public.
Why
just
don't we
went
do our
public?
own platform?
Well, True Social is huge right now. Huge. It has the entire country's attention. It went public, and it's worth billions.
Okay, well we should
It's-
come up,
the
we should come
viewers
up
are
with our own
unbelievable.
platform. That's what we should do. So all of us and our children at schools. That's what we need to do. So thank you for all of your help. Was there anything else on that text message? Because I know I said stars, subscribing, and what was the other? Maybe it was Restream with all the different things that we do. So
Right.
sharing the good news of NWI. We've got all the 7 counties, so it's mostly Lake Porter and LaPorte, but we also do Jasper, Newton, Pulaski, I think's down there, and Stark. I think I got them all. There you go.
There we go.
So if we didn't mention your city, go ahead and type it in there, and we'd invite you to come on and tell us your story. So we thank you for watching, and we'd like you to be part of the show
Right.
as we continue to grow.
We welcome all comments. All comments. Everything helps.
Nicely put. so kudos are great, but if you're gonna tell us a suggestion, just do it in a nice way. That's all.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, David.
Thank you so much. I am actually new to Northwest Indiana. Just moved here technically at the beginning of the year.
Oh.
So I'm still getting used to it, but I love it. I hope to make it my forever home, and I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to support
aboard.
Becky. I'm glad to support Pete,
Oh, we love you.
and here's to many more.
Woohoo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna finish up here with we're gonna do some of the events, and then Val, you got a word of the day.
Indeed.
Okay, all right. So let's rattle off the events.
IUN Friday Teachers Fair and Law Info.
Yeah, so on this Friday night you went, and I did make the signatures, the 200 signatures for the trustee getting on the ballot. So that's going to happen in June.
So how do people vote?
You have to be an IU grad. You have to be updated in the system with an email, or you can request a ballot mailed to you, or I could send you the link. So
How do they know this is going on to go to vote to do this?
they've got a press release going out, but you've got to be pretty involved. So we're going to try to send the message to vote for me because there's hardly anybody from up here, hardly any women, and hardly any regular people. So we're like, hey, we want to have a voice down there,
We need
right?
an email blast.
Well, I got social media out there, and then yeah, I'm going to try to
Do a blast.
I'm going to try to find a list. That's
Yeah.
the tough part. And then at least my 200 signers, I need them to vote.
I think you could buy a list.
Okay, let's work on that. All right, so there we go.
Yeah.
We got ideas. But on Friday, you could go to IUN. They're having a couple things: the fair, a teacher fair, and if you're interested in becoming a lawyer, they're going to talk about that.
Wow. Open studio at the Art Barn.
Yeah, you could go down to the art barn that's in Valpo, and it's an
Okay.
open studio, and you can do art, and to your heart's content.
Chip and Dale's at the Hard Rock. I'm not doing it this time. I'm taking a break. I know what you're thinking.
Chippendales, yeah, I was thinking Thunder Down Under. Those guys are from, but yeah, Chippendales, I guess they're from the United States. All right, there you
Yeah.
go. But there's a lot of different acts going into the Hard Rock, which we've mentioned.
Yes.
And the things that they're doing. What's the next one? Gardening at Chelbrook Farm.
Where's that?
So that is what like in Porter, where it's not lit, but there's a farm there from about 100 years ago. So if you don't have a garden going, you could go there and help them with their garden. And I think it's a community garden where you could actually then get some of that food, which we've talked about.
really?
Isn't that nice?
It is.
Like if you're hungry, you could make a garden and then grow the food and not be so desolate. And then
Forrest Gump Hump 5K.
I just like that.
Where?
I love Forrest Gump.
I would do the 5K.
You're gonna have to go on to all of our media, and I'm gonna post that. I'll post that, but you have to go on, like it, share it, and then I'll tell you when and where the Forrest Gump
I would do it.
5K is. Do you actually? Could you run? You walk?
I power walk 6 miles, but quick. I power walk faster than when people run.
Now you can make your way.
Nobody can keep up with me.
Over.
That's 5K.
So just so you know, you can friend Pete, and 3 nights a week he's out there walking. So not only do you get your info for Good Day NWI, you can also get fit with Good Day.
And I'll teach you how to
NWI.
lose weight and keep it off. Absolutely.
And look at this. Come on over, Queen.
Wow.
With that shiny, and it's like my Purdue colors. Holy
Black and
moly.
gold. Look at that.
Oh,
Oh my
woo-wee.
God. Every week it's something beautiful.
Val Kemp Davis is our word of the day.
Where do you keep all these clothes? You must have a whole different
I love
house.
clothes. I'm my
She's got
mother's
girls
daughter.
too,
And
and
they
share,
love clothes.
and
Yeah.
And that necklace.
You like this?
Beautiful.
This is a koi necklace, and it's a black designer who's downtown Chicago. She was in the New York Fashion Week this past year because her stuff is getting a lot of attention
What's
by
her
celebrities.
name?
Oh my God, I can't even think of her name, but look under koi, Koi. She has
Like the fish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I wore this at the wedding.
And the
When you
ring
were
to
coming-
match
when you were
the
coming
outfit.
down- Okay, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
this-
I
remember
remember
this?
dress, though. I remember the
Yeah.
dress. That was
Yeah.
lovely.
Yes.
So what is the outfit? I know you like to tell us.
Akira.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know I love
Why
Akira.
didn't I see that?
I don't know, because it was meant for me.
I'm going back.
There you go.
'Cause this is what I'm wearing to Arizona.
Okay.
Does she know
Now
that?
cut
She
it
knows it now.
down. Look, because you're still petite. You have that girlish figure.
Um,
So blessed.
Wonderfulness comes in all different sizes.
That's true,
right?
too.
It does, that's
Zach
for sure.
Edey to
That is-
Braden Smith, right?
Yes.
But we were watching the game, and they had. My mom was like, "Look at that guy's jacket. He had sparkly gold." I'm like, "Hey, anything goes."
Gold LeMay. I love
Oh
it.
my word, that's
Thank you,
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell us word of the day.
So the word of the day is ruach. Ruach.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell us all
And I
about
was
it.
really strategic because remember last week was Gadzuk.
Oh yes.
And we told you, hey, it was the nails that were put in the cross, Christ's cross, right? So I
Yeah.
said, well, let me come back and talk about, since we're closing out the season, and this is Resurrection Day, I chose the word ruach. And so it means the spirit, the breath, and the wind of God.
Oh wow. Really?
It sounds
It's
almost like
Hebrewic.
it almost sounds like an onomatopoeia.
Yes,
Say the word again.
ruach. The ruach of God. I
I
love that.
almost
That's
like- it's
you
almost-
feel it?
yeah.
Yes, it's a whole vibe. So the reason why that's important, I think, is because when you talk about the cross, and you know, a lot of us know the story about the cross and Jesus hanging on Golgotha Hill, and so the medical people have looked at how he died. He died from asphyxiation. So they strategically put the nails in his hand, the gadzook in his hands, well, actually in his wrist, and his feet. They placed it, and they didn't want to bust an artery, right? So they wanted to create a lot of pain for him. So the way he was positioned, he could have really like asphyxiated because you can't breathe. So he kept going up and he kept going down and kept going up. And that's why he said, no man takes my life. I give my life up, right? So when I started thinking about Ruach and then thinking about how he gave up the ghost, I said, man was created by the Ruach of God because he breathed into man and man became a living soul. And then he gave up his breath so that we could have life eternally. I said, there is a connection. And I said, this is amazing. We lived initially because of the Ruach of God. And we get to live eternally because he gave up his breath so that we could have life eternal. And when you think about Ruach, we think about wind, and we can't see the wind, but we see the effects of the wind. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So it's amazing,
right?
When we see
Right.
the wind blowing in our person's hair, or we see the leaves fall from the tree, and you think about God, and he's the wind, but he says there's not even a leaf that falls from the tree that he is not aware of. I think the Ruach, the wind, the spirit, and the breath of God is so amazing. So I wanted to share today. Word of the day is Ruach.
Wow.
So I
Perfect.
think we're going to get a board with a list, and as we develop in our graphics, and then I used Cavalcade.
You know that.
I did. I used that one stuck
Yes,
with me.
yes.
So those are some pretty amazing words, and
Thank
so we're
you.
also helping with SAT scores here.
Yes, come on now. You gotta use your words. I always tell my kids, use your words. I don't like all that stumbling and bubbling. Use your words. I first heard that from stepmom, and the daughter was told, use your words, and from then I've been saying that ever since.
I was one of the shows on TV. They're like speaking and vocabulary is so important to success in your life. And
It is.
It's
It is.
education.
It is.
So and how people care for each other,
Mhm.
and it's that socioeconomic point, but really important.
It is.
And I always try to be positive, but sometimes
You want to use the right words.
Yeah, sometimes I get emotions, and
Yeah.
especially in sports, but
So just say gadzook.
And that's
Yeah,
it. Say that and walk
I
away,
used
and
to
that's
say
it. It's all over.
crumbs or cookies or something when I was playing basketball. So
Oh.
they're like, "Is she for real?" And I'm like,
Right.
"Yes." And I shoot this.
Yes, yes.
Somebody put boil this, and I'm like, "That was a great comeback."
Oh man.
So we're gonna wrap up. It's once again, it's Becky and Pete and Val. It's Good Day NWI. It's Happy Easter, at least for
Happy
us.
Resurrection
It
Day,
is.
yeah.
Yes.
March 31st, 2024.
Yes.
If you want to hit the music, David's going back. We do a little sign off here.
And Becky, you look so pretty.
I said I.
Pink pearls.
Yeah,
Girl,
this
I love it.
I did not have this, so I put this on because I remember to have to clip something. I have to
Becky is
clip it.
bomb.
But I like this. Look at how pretty this
Girl.
was. My cross.
See, and then you said you had on a
Yes.
ring. That's your dad, right?
The pretty
Yes.
ring.
And I got my dad ring on too.
Oh,
We
really?
lost our dad the same year.
Almost like at the same time. That's kind of, I think, how we bonded.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that was going on. We
Yeah.
did that with Frank Moran's campaign.
Mhm.
And then we just, some
Kept
similar
on. I
things
just love
were
her
happening.
spirit.
Oh,
Mhm.
ditto.
And she's a sweet baby.
Oh, I try. But that hip really is not.
Girl, we
gets
ain't gonna
me
talk
a
about
little-
hips. And this is a rainy day, so my knees
I
have been
wanted
cut.
to take a nap.
I did
I was
too.
coming over with Anthony. I'm like, Anthony, I'm really trying to fall asleep.
Well,
Right.
I'm lucky I have none of those problems.
You are
so.
blessed.
Yeah,
Nothing.
because he goes and gets those B12 shots on
Yes, I do.
Thursdays.
He, look, he know how to take care of himself, okay?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I always sign off with, what do I sign? I cover. Have a spectacular week because of the Vision Quest. That's kind of my thing. And cover your cups, cover yourselves.
Yeah.
Be diligent out there.
And take care of yourself and each other.
Yes.
And what's your sign?
And mine is always be kind, and lead with love. That's what I feel.
And we also say, there was the announcer would be God bless, so that's Paul's.
Yes. Mighty man of God.
Next week.
And we dance. See y'all next week.
All right.
Go Boys.
That's right. Can't
And all
believe
the
it.
rest of you guys.
Look,
or
look, you
whatever
know
you're
we're not
doing.
standing because the hip and the knees hurt. It's raining today.
We're cheer dancing. Woohoo! Yay! All right, and I'm going back to my papuchis.
Okay. I'm telling you. It's
Who
rough,
thought of
man.
these?
That rain, I
Who
was
thought
like,
of these
Jesus.
anyway? Oh, look at all this. Oh, we got a lot of people.
That's awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
We want you back.
Not too bad, was it?
Let us come on now. I appreciate it.
Now, if I remember right, you're always a short little kid in high school. You're shorter, if I remember.
I was shorter.
I remember. Now I remember you. I do.
I don't have the
I'm
breaks
surprised.
I do.
in
I didn't
here.
know that I was.
David Lane,
Yeah,
But I
but
hope this
a lot of
is different.
singing,
There's no
did the
breaks in
chorale,
front of
did
here.
the serenaders,
breaks, what do
did
you
all
mean?
that.
You know how it always
With,
has
Mr.
little
Church.
brackets
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
camera?
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah,
I-
just it's
He died.
picked up
So
different
if
ways.
you
He
put it on
did.
the
He
backside,
did.
you
I
don't
think it was
block
more
the
recently
camera,
too.
then you're
I mean,
fine.
maybe 5 years.
He was so
There we
strict,
go.
just a mean guy,
You know,
and
then
Got it.
no one liked him.
Yeah.
We all still did
Every
it,
day
you know
is a
what?
learning day,
so
isn't
It
it?
is.
Yeah.
It should be.
So
Never
good.
delete.
Yeah.
Yep.
Post it now.
Man.
Crazy, I know.
So you've been in Whiting for 50
Turn your
years, right?
mics off.
My whole life.
Here,
Born and raised
it
here.
feels up to me. I'd live there.
You guys
Yeah.
want
100%,
something
not
to
here.
promote?
Yeah. I-
Buy one of those houses by the Whiting football field.
Okay.
And that's where I really want to be.
Yeah, those are nice.
Oh, or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I heard they're building condos there now too.
Yeah, they're gonna build new homes on that back road, you know, that used to go to Whiting Park, at Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, be on the other side.
Don't
behind the
worry
football
about it.
I just
field.
want a
Or
condo.
I just didn't want any
Overlooking
screeching
Lake
going on.
Michigan,
I
that's
got
it.
that
There you go.
enough, but
That's what I like to do.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, giving this up for a condo.
Oh, that's okay.
If you're living in this area here instead.
That's all I need.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, here, three of my boys are gone. They're done with college and live downtown.
Okay.
One goes to Purdue. I got two left.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're winding
when
down.
did we